Yo, what's up guys, it's King Sean here, and the Commanders' preseason game with the Miami Dolphins just wrapped up, and in today's video, I will be recapping it, so let's just jump straight into this recap. First things first, Jayden Daniels, he looked pretty solid today. He played 2 series today, so last week against the Jets, he played 1. Today, he played 2, which I thought they would give him a quarter. Well, they pretty much gave him a quarter. Those first 2 drives lasted a quarter and even into the second quarter. But Jayden Daniels, he looked really good. He was 10 for 12 with 78 yards. He didn't throw a touchdown, didn't throw an interception, didn't get sacked, and he also had 2 carries for 13 yards. One of those carries being for like 12 or 13 yards. It was a nice read option play. I really like that play design from Cliff Kingsbury. We're going to be seeing a lot of read options from Jayden Daniels this year. We saw it last week, against the Jets in the red zone for that touchdown, walk-in touchdown from Jayden Daniels. It was really nice. So he was good today. His only really bad play today was, I'm pretty sure it was third down. He kind of sailed the pass to Terry McLaurin. Terry was kind of open along the sideline, and he kind of overthrew him. So it wasn't a good pass from Jayden Daniels, but that was really his only bad play from today's game. So overall, he was really good. I don't expect him to play next week against the Patriots because, that's when no starters play, and Jayden Daniels is obviously the projected starter. He should get announced as our starter and quarterback soon. But yeah, Jayden Daniels, he looked really good today. Jeff Driscoll, he looked pretty solid today for the most part. He was 11 for 15, 82 yards, no touchdowns, no interceptions. He took 1 sack today, and I'm going to get to the offensive line later in the video, but Jeff Driscoll, he was pretty good. He also had like a 1 carry for 44 yards, that long 44-yard run. That was insane. I did not know Jeff Driscoll had that in him. I know Jeff Driscoll was a bit mobile, but I did not know he had that in him, so it was a really good run by Jeff Driscoll there. He could be QB2 right now, in my opinion. Marcus Mariota, I think he'll make the roster because, we gave him, $6 million, $8 million to be our backup quarterback. So off of that, off of the money we gave him, he should make the roster. But don't be surprised if, we keep an extra quarterback on our roster, and that quarterback is Jeff Driscoll. So I would not be surprised if Jeff Driscoll is our QB3 right now. In my opinion, I feel like he is QB3 right now. But in my opinion, he could be QB2. In my eyes, he's QB2 right now. I don't hate Marcus Mariota, but based off of the play over the last 2 weeks, including today, I feel like Jeff Driscoll is quarterback 2 right now, in my opinion, though. So Jeff Driscoll, he was pretty good today. He did have one pass that was really bad. He kind of tried to force, a ball to Byron Pringle, or not Byron Pringle, some wide receiver over the middle. It was in triple coverage, and you have Byron Pringle and Ben Sinnott open. Could have just passed to one of them, but he tried to force it in triple coverage, which was a pretty dumb decision right there. Not sure why I did that. So that was the really only bad play from Jeff Driscoll today. Trace McSorley, he was not good today. Straight up, I'm not going to lie. He was not good today really at all. He had some nice plays towards the end of the game, but overall, he wasn't good. He came in, I'm pretty sure, late in the third quarter, and he wasn't good. We signed him this week because Marcus Mariota, Sam Hartman, they did not play today. Hopefully, they'll be back next week, but that's why we signed Trace McSorley, and he just, wasn't good today. We couldn't move the ball with him in the game as our quarterback. He was 11 for 21, 93 passing yards, and he threw an interception, but that was a really weird play because he threw the interception, or I'm pretty sure, I don't even know, he threw the interception, and then the Dolphins fumbled the ball, and then we recovered the ball. It was a really, really weird play. If y'all are watching the game, y'all know what I'm talking about, but it was just a really wacky play, so that's what happened there. But Trace McSorley, he just wasn't good today, like at all, so, hopefully, we're probably going to cut him maybe on Monday, or, whenever Marcus Mariota and Sam Hartman come back, either one of those guys. So Trace McSorley, he just wasn't good today. He also took 3 sacks today. Our offensive line wasn't great today, but I'll get to them later. But they weren't great today at all, really. Well, not our first team offensive line, but our third, fourth string offensive line. So I'll get to them later. But overall, Trace McSorley, he just wasn't good today at all. Moving on to the running backs, Brian Robinson Jr., he had 3 carries for 22 yards. His longest carry went for 11 yards. He had some nice carries on the first drive, so he was pretty good today. Austin Eckler actually had no carries today, but he did have a reception for 3 yards. He actually did have a carry on, I want to say, it was either our first or second drive, but he did have 1 carry, and unfortunately, it got called back because of an Andrew Wiley holding penalty. But it was a really nice run by Austin Eckler. I want to say it went for like 4 or 5, maybe 6 yards. So really excited to see that running back duo with B-Rob and Austin Eckler this upcoming season. And then Casimir Allen, he had 3 carries for 13 yards. So they've been trying him out in the backfield, give him in the rock sometimes in training camp practices. But he did have a fumble today, so he's probably going to get cut. Maybe they try him one more time next week against the Patriots in that preseason game, but he's probably a goner. And then Michael Wiley, he had 2 carries for 7 yards, but he also had 3 receptions for 31 yards, his longest reception being 23 yards. So I'm a big fan of Michael Wiley. I think he'll make the roster as our running back 3. I feel like he's way better than Jeremy McNichols and Chris Rodriguez Jr. When, Chris Rodriguez was in the game, he just wasn't showing a whole lot. Same with Jeremy McNichols, but Michael Wiley is actually much more explosive than I thought he was. He had some nice catches today, had some nice runs today, and last week as well. So I feel like Michael Wiley, he will be making this roster as our running back 3. Moving on to the wide receivers, Terry McLaurin, he had a nice day today. He had 2 catches for 27 yards. He had a really nice catch and run. I'm pretty sure it was his second reception or first reception from Jayden Daniels. So Terry McLaurin, he was good today. Dyami Brown, he had a nice day as well. He had 3 catches for 19 yards. I feel like I'm not going to say I'm 100% comfortable with Dyami Brown being our wide receiver 2, but I will say that I'm more comfortable with it, not 100%, but a little bit more comfortable with it because it seems like him and Jayden Daniels have a pretty nice connection going. So, it could be good right there with him and Jayden Daniels. Luke McCaffrey, he had 2 catches for 30 yards today. He also had some punt returns today. He didn't return a punt, but he was back there sometimes. But he made 2 really nice catches today, so good to see that from Luke McCaffrey. What else do we have here? Davion Davis, he had 4 catches for 20 yards. He actually had a drop pass today, which was pretty bad. Mitchell Tinsley also had a drop pass today as well, so those 2 will probably not make the roster. Jahan Dotson, he only had a catch for 3 yards. So, John, we want to see more from you, and you only had a catch for 3 yards. Now, no, he did only play 2 quarters, but, he played 2 quarters. He should have gotten more targets, more catches, and he just didn't. So that's, unfortunate right there. So it's not looking great for Jahan right now. I still have faith in him. I still have, belief in him getting this wide receiver 2 spot, but, maybe a guy like Dyami Brown is ahead of him right now. I feel like he is ahead of Olamide Zaccheaus. Olamide didn't do too much today. He has been really good in training camp, but just didn't do too much today. So maybe he is ahead of Olamide, but maybe not ahead of Dyami Brown. Dyami, Jahan, and Terry McLaurin were actually our 3 starting wide receivers out there on our first and second drive. So that kind of gives you, a look or a feel of, who's going to be our 3 starting receivers come week 1. But, we shall see. Jameson Crowder, he had 3 catches for 25 yards today. We didn't see, I don't think, any of him in the punt return game today, which is really strange to me. I feel like he's our best punt returner on the roster, so the fact that we didn't give him any looks at punt return is super weird to me, but maybe we will next week. So we shall see what happens there. And that's about it for the receiving game. John Bates, he had 2 catches for 20 yards today. Benson, he had a catch for 10 yards today. Martavis Bryant, he didn't do anything today, really. He didn't have a catch at all. He did force I'm pretty sure, an illegal contact penalty on the Dolphins, so that's really the one thing he did. But other than that, he didn't do anything, really. The offensive line. I would say that the first team offensive line was pretty good today. They did a good job run blocking and pass blocking for Jayden Daniels. Andrew Wiley, he had a bad false start and holding penalty on our first 2 drives. So people say, are trying to give him excuses where he hasn't played in a while because of his injuries, but he's a veteran. He should not be making those types of mistakes. Moving on to the defensive side of the ball, let's start with the negatives on the defensive side of the ball. We have no cornerbacks, and specifically, we have no outside cornerbacks. Benjamin St-Juste, he got cooked on a route in the end zone by, I think, Ray. I don't even know the wide receiver's name. I'm pretty sure he was the Dolphins' second string, third string wide receiver. I think it was the Dolphins' third string wide receiver. I'm not sure, but the fact that you're getting scored on by a third string wide receiver is insane. It was a really good pass from Tua, really good accuracy there by Tua on that pass. But, Benjamin St-Juste, he did not use any physicality. He didn't jam him at the line at all. He just tried to mirror him, and it just didn't work. And Forbes did the same thing last week against, I'm pretty sure it was Jarvis Brownlee. He was working against. He allowed a touchdown. So Benjamin St-Juste, he was bad today. Our outside corners were bad in general. I didn't notice much from Emmanuel Forbes today. I think he only played like a couple of snaps, maybe a drive or 2. I'm not sure why they didn't give him, longer, but I didn't notice much from Forbes today. Michael Davis, he did get beat by this one receiver on this one play, which was pretty bad, but that's really the only play he really gave up. Tariq Castro-Fields, he looked really freaking good today. I liked what I saw from him today. He had a couple nice tackles and like 2 or 3 pass breakups today, so he looked really good. I think he's going to make the roster, especially, we don't have great cornerback depth, so, it's good to see a guy stepping up at cornerback, and that was Castro-Fields. We've heard good things from him out of camp. Didn't really notice much from him in the Jets preseason game last week, so it's good to see him making plays this week. Mikey Sanders still best cornerback on the roster. No doubt about it. No argument should be made. Mikey Sanders still is an absolute dog. He had 3 tackles on the first drive of the game, on the Dolphins' first drive of the game. So Mikey Sanders still, man, he and Frankie Louvu are dogs. Frankie Louvu also had a couple nice tackles today. He and Louvu, man, they're really freaking good. So excited to see what they can do on this defense this year. Who else do we have here? Tyler Owens. Tyler Owens, he was the MVP of this game, in my opinion, on our side. He was amazing. He had amazing tackles. He made a good tackle on special teams. He had a tackle for loss. The Dolphins running back, one of the Dolphins running back, had a 59-yard run, and it almost went to a touchdown, but Tyler Owens, he did save it, and it was a really good tackle. He kind of tripped him up, and he fell to the ground like 2-3 yards later. So Tyler Owens, he showed out today. I really liked what I saw from him today, and I feel like he's a lock to make the roster at this point. If you're making plays like that, you should make the roster. He has another outing like this that he will 100% make the roster. I feel like he's a lock right now, but maybe they're not so keen on him being an 100% lock. Maybe they want to see a little bit more from him, and if he balls out again next week, then I feel like he should definitely make the roster for sure. Quan Martin was pretty good today. He had a nice pass deflection in one of the plays today, so he was really good today. Jeremy Chin was solid as well. Jeremy Reeves, he struggled today. He had 2 missed tackles. One of those missed tackles coming on that 59-yard run I mentioned earlier today. Tyler Owens saved that. It would have been a touchdown if Tyler Owens didn't make that touchdown-saving tackle. So Jeremy Reeves, I still feel like he's going to make the roster. I mean, we gave him a 2-year deal this offseason, Pro Bowl special teamer, but you can't be missing tackles like that. Jeremy Reeves, you just can't. Jamin Davis, he had a day. I was super impressed with Jamin Davis today. He kind of struggled in like middle of the game. He was getting stood up at edge rusher sometimes off the edge, but he did make 2 back-to-back plays, had a nice pressure on the quarterback, and then on the following play, he had a strip sack on the quarterback. We recovered the ball. Hey, ball is life. That's what Joe Wood says, and Jamin Davis looks like, he's following that. And he made a play today, which is really good. Want to see more of those from Jamin Davis. He's 100% going to make the roster if, some people didn't feel like it. I feel like, before he was kind of on the roster bubble, although I thought he was still going to make the roster, kind of on the roster bubble. But what he did today, he made a really nice play today. Also a couple of nice tackles today as well. What he did today, I feel like, solidifies his roster spot. Also, KJ Henry, he had some nice plays today. Javonte Jean-Baptiste, he had a sack today. Other guys had sacks today as well. So overall, pass rush kind of struggled today overall, but we did have 4 sacks today, which is pretty good. And then obviously Jamin Davis, he had that strip sack, which is pretty good as well. So overall, defense wasn't too bad today. We did struggle in pass rush. Obviously, our cornerbacks, we need cornerbacks ASAP. We should sign Stephon Gilmore. We should have been signed Stephon Gilmore, to be honest. Maybe he doesn't want to come to us, but, man, Stephon Gilmore would be a big boost, to this DB room, to our cornerback room, because we could absolutely need Stephon Gilmore, okay? There's just no arguing that, because our only good cornerback on the roster is Mikey Sanders still, and he is a slot corner, which, no hate to Mikey Sanders still. He's a great player. I love Mikey Sanders still, but we need an outside cornerback badly. Forbes, St. Jude's, they just aren't it. Even Michael Davis. So we just need another boundary quarterback in this room badly. Moving on, Riley Patterson. I'm not going to spend too much time on you. You're cut. All right, you're cut. You missed 2 field goals today. I said in my preview video yesterday that if you miss 1 field goal, you're cut. You missed 2 today. You're out of the league. Like, you're out of the league. Riley Patterson was so bad today. I'm not sure. With this game, I feel like we would have won this game if Riley Patterson didn't miss his kicks, and if, Andrew Wiley did not have that holding call, which kind of killed our drive on our, first or second drive. Riley Patterson so big time today. He missed 2 kicks. He made 2 of his 4 kicks. That's just bad, and both the kicks he missed were super easy kicks. I think one was from 30 yards, one was from 40 yards. Riley Patterson, you're cut. I think he's gonna get cut by Monday, maybe Tuesday at the least. Sometime next week, I'm not sure, but we need to bring in some new kickers ASAP because Riley Patterson, he's not it. He's not it. We cut Ramiz Ahmed. We tried to give Riley Patterson a shot to win this job, and he folded. He folded under really no pressure, really. I mean, we cut Ramiz Ahmed, so you don't have a guy to look over your shoulder, So Riley Patterson, you're just bad. You're just bad, and we're going to cut him. I have no doubt that we're going to cut him, and we're going to bring in maybe another kicker or two. So Riley Patterson, you're gone. All right, you're gone. So that is really it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, leave a like down below, subscribe, turn on notifications. I'm on the road to 4K subs. If you could, hit that sub button. I really appreciate it. And other than that, it's been King Sean, and I'm out. Peace.